Hi and welcome to this week's episode. Today I want to talk about how photography can help people with their mental health. Sometimes I find in myself, if the weather's a bit low pressure and gloomy and wet, sometimes, it can lower your mood a bit. So I find if it's high pressure, it's the opposite effect, So today I want to talk about how getting out doing some photography can, on a gloomy day, can really perk up your mood and make you feel a whole lot better and more positive. First of all, the benefits of getting out: you're getting fresh air into your lungs and you're getting exercise. Now there's two benefits straight away. So when you immerse yourself in nature, whether physically or visually, you're reminded of the vastness and the beauty of the world, which can really help put your problems into perspective. So this is especially useful for those who struggle with anxiety or depression. So getting out really does help. And photography provides a non-verbal means for individuals to express and communicate their emotions, particularly when they find it difficult to articulate their feelings. So if you're having low mood one day, you don't have to have an expensive camera. Get out your mobile phone, get out, do some photography and see if it helps, because it helps me. Today, very overcast, gloomy. I was just sitting in the house thinking, I need to get out of here. Got out, went down to the local coast, doing a bit of seascape photography, and it really helps. So get out, be creative, and see if it helps. Okay, so I'm going to be now heading onto the jetty at Scale to do some seascape photography.
So this jetty has recently gone under refurbishment and it's looking in really good shape. I'll put up the postcode for the free parking and it's only a stone's throw away. I would say getting here 2.5 to 3 hours before high tide, or 2 hours after high tide, or 1.5 just to be sure. And that should give you enough water under the jetty for your shots.
So I have the 10-stop filter on the front of the camera, and I'm just set up with the horizon line just coming in past the top thirds of the image. I'm shooting in bulb mode with an exposure time of around 1 minute and 25 seconds, and that's working really good. It's a very overcast day here in Seascale, but I really love this jetty. So what I'm looking to do here is create some very minimalistic fine art photography, and with this subject in this image, it's really looking absolutely beautiful. It really is. I mean, these are some of the results that I'm getting on the back at the moment. That looks a little bit underexposed, so I might have to push the exposure a little bit longer, but I'm really happy with how it's looking. That long exposure's really flattened out that water completely. So I'm just experimenting with different focal lengths at the moment. I'm using the wide angle lens, and I'm ranging from anything from 16mm to all the way out now at 35mm. So I'm just having a look at the back there of the camera. I think out of all the shots, I'm liking the shot that's in at 35mm. It's just nothing better to just get out on them gloomy days. Overcast, gloomy. Just get out, do a bit of photography. Great for your mental health. Great for your soul. And if you're doing seascape, you're breathing that beautiful, fresh sea air in. Can't beat it. So this weekend I'm going to be focusing mainly on seascape photography. It's going to be one of those weekends where it's very overcast. So I'm going to be looking at creating moody seascapes. So obviously today, this is my first shoot. And you know what, I'm really happy with the results I'm getting on the back of the camera there. It was just exactly what I was picturing in my mind, what I wanted. It's great when that happens. When you picture in your mind what you want and then you get there and you actually get it. You can't beat it. Because sometimes you can picture things in your mind what you want. You get the location, and you know the conditions aren't right. You might have the skies might not be how you wanted it, but this sky is exactly how I wanted it. Because I'll be able to pull a lot of detail out of that cloud when I edit these images in Lightroom. So if you're ever in the Lake District, this location is literally right on the doorstep of the Lake District on the western side. If it's ever rainy, overcast, come down to Seascale, you know, or St. Bees, where I'll be going tomorrow. You make use of those overcast days where, you know, you might not be able to get very many good shots in the Lake District on the fells. You know, you make use of that time, come down to here, you know, and make use of the conditions. So with the way the conditions are today, it's just screaming out to me, black and white, fine art. So I'll put up the image now of what I've just taken here from Scale Jetty. Just caught it in time because the sea's receded now. So I'll put up that shot now. Enjoy. So I'm going to be leaving Seascale any moment now. Really happy. Literally come down, turned up. Everything's went spot on. Images look really sharp. Like you see, I just caught that water just in time. It's quite remarkable how quick that tide is receding. If I'd come here another half an hour later, I would have missed it. So I'll catch you tomorrow. I'll be continuing this video on down at St. Bees on the West Cumbrian coast. drive down at Fleswick Bay, and it's wild down here. Just covered in sea foam. To be honest with you, I actually thought the sea was going to be a bit further out than it is. It's like we're talking, it's nearly 2 hours after high tide now, and normally the sea would be a lot further out than that. But I think with it being so rough, it's taking longer to go out. But I'm not going to be deterred. I will try and get a shot down here.
So after persevering and determined not to give up, the sea eventually started to pull back, giving me a chance to get on the rocks and start looking for compositions. And I was glad I was able to get the camera out. Although very windy and tricky with the sea foam blowing around, I knew I would be able to use the foam to my advantage in giving the water that white, creamy texture with the long exposures.
So I found a nice composition here I'm really happy with. I'm just using this rock formation here as a leading line. And it just brings your eye round to the peninsula at the end there. It's working really well with the long exposures. Just getting a nice result on the back of the camera there. Just using the 6-stop filter, and because it's that dark, I'm getting a 25-minute exposure off a 6-stop, which is really, you normally have to get that with a 10-stop, but because it's so dark and gloomy. When I came down here, first of all, I was thinking, I'll have a waste of my time, but you know what? Persevered, and I'm really happy with this shot of getting here. I think it works really well. So shutter speed there, 25 seconds, f11, ISO 100. Okay guys, so that's it for this week's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment on which picture you liked in the first half of the video, and leave a comment to which one you've liked from this location at Fleswick Bay. So I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you on another video. Over and out.